Well, I recorded a little bit for the garden update a little while ago, and since then the garden has, well, bloomed, I suppose you could say. Let's turn this around if I and show you what's happened. So we had roses budding, and now the rain that we've had and the warmth that we've had has made them bloom. So they're all looking rather nice. I'm hoping that we won't get too much wind and heavy rain in the near future, because we don't want the blooms to be hit by that. And some nice snapdragons there. So as you can see, even the mulva are benefiting from it. They're coming on nicely as well. And peonies are getting very close to flowering too. So we'll start off here with the workbench. As you can see, the seedlings we've got are doing really well. The cabbage is over there. We've got sprout plants there and purple sprouting. They're going to have to be potted on very shortly. We've also put a few extra leek plants in because there wasn't a full row in the garden, so we thought it advantageous to do that. And there's some I think they're wallflower plants, or no, actually no, they're not, they're asters. And then we've got some more flower plants growing down there, a mixture of dahlias and some mulvas down there. There's a few sweet peas growing in there. You can hardly see them at the moment, but they're just in there quietly poodling along. And if we go over here, because I ran out of room on the shelves and these plants needed a little bit more water, so we have a few sweet peas. Those were a present from Sue and Gary. And we have the wallflowers. Those are going to be for Ken's dad. Not sure how many he wants, but what he doesn't have I shall plant in my garden. And again, more flowers. The remainder of the begonias over there. The dahlias, we've had problems with these in the fact that they weren't really doing very well. So as a bit of an experiment, we've put them into some larger pots, and having had the amount of rain that they've had as well, they've actually seemed to like that. So, and we've got a few more wallflowers there that we're bringing on, and again more dahlias. These are the ones that really weren't doing very well in those pots, and as you can see, one or two of them are still a bit iffy. Anyway, we'll see how they go. Let's take you round the rest of the garden. So we have our shrubs, fir tree, Daphne's now gone over. I will snip that back in the near future when we get a couple of fine days, and just tidy it up, ready for next year. Some more pot plants we've got coming on here, some bits and pieces that we've got coming. We have another peony there as well, and we've got some little plants growing in there. Oh, look, a lovely dandelion too. Always get them in. Pansies there are looking really nice. Now these haven't started flowering yet, although you can see a bud coming there, but this is the daylilies. You can see why I took a few out, because they really do bush. A great ground cover, but they only come out for a very short time. So this is all coming to life. Now down here we can see that you've got some more, I hope you can see, we've got some leeks coming up through there, and a row of carrots in amongst the weeds. That's what happens when it rains. The onions, they're doing nicely. They're really coming on now following that rain that we've had. Again, it will need some weeding. Need the ground to be just a little bit drier before I start doing that, but as you can see, I'm going to have my work cut out doing that that lot. Now, the one thing I will say is that the rain has done wonders for the rhubarb. I'm pretty sure that we could see it growing during the week, and it's certainly gone from having a couple of tiny little stalks to having almost enough for rhubarb crumble today. But we've decided that we're not going to dig into that until next week. Give it a week extra to come on a bit. But yes, thank you for the rain doing that. Now, little cabbage plants that you saw down the way are also the same ones as we've got in here. These are the ones that we planted into the ground, and you can see that they have just grown immensely. Now that we've managed to keep the pigeons off of them, they are doing really, really well. Just take this up again here, and you can see, yeah, lovely, looking really strong. And keeping the pigeons off of them, marvellous. Now, this is the patch that we did earlier this year. We haven't really got anything specific that we did extra to this. Still got a lot of cleaning up to do, because unfortunately, until you see it all coming up after a shower of rain, you don't know where half the weeds are. So there's a lot of weeding to do here, just to keep me out of mischief. There are also some plants growing there, so I've got to be careful, because some of those are actually flower plants that I want to keep. And I might be able to transplant a few extras in now, but as you can see, a lot of weeds that have to be sorted there. The holly is really benefiting from getting some extra light. I think come winter time, in fact I might even do it before, but I think that fuchsia is going to have to come out so that we can let the holly do its stuff. So just bringing you down the other side of the garden, as you can see at the top of the garden there we have our rennet beans. We have some ground here that will end up having more vegetables put in. Garlic and broad beans. Sadly we've got a lot of blight on the beans, but that doesn't seem to have stopped them growing and coming into flower. And indeed, you might be able to see there just about that we've got some beans actually coming up now. Great stuff. And last but not least, my favourites probably is new potatoes. These have really benefited from having all the rain that we've had this week, and I'm sure will continue to thrive. So that's it from me for today. As you can see, the wind's starting to get up, and if I turn you around this way, you'll be able to see that the predicted rain is very probably on its way. So I'm heading in for a cup of coffee before I get wet. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and hit the notification bell.